Now I'm recording. Does anyone
Yeah,
remember
I
what the
mean,
movie was called?
things
Yeah.
seen and heard, seen.
Things Heard and
It's
Seen?
Things
yeah.
heard and seen. Yeah.
There we go. Does anyone remember what happened in the movie?
Yes, I do. Me and John were talking about it yesterday
Vaguely,
too.
yes.
All right. Well, I remember it.
my hot points.
I
but
remember it
anyway.
for details.
That's good.
So-
Danny can
I'm
remind
gonna-
us,
I'm
even though
like-
it's my pick.
I'm like digging into my brain to find the stuff that was in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amanda
Are we on?
Seyfried. Yes, I am now recording. Welcome to Apartment Theater, the most
Brought to you
slapped
by-
together episode, brought to you by us
Mhm.
and our faithful Ohio listener. Thank you.
Yeah.
We see you, Ohio listener.
Anyway.
Danny is dying.
I am. I really am. This is awful.
Stop scratching.
I can't.
Danny's got some rashes going on because she got in a fight with a fucking bobcat or something. I don't know, but
I got in a
Yeah.
fight with the sun. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
I lost to the sun.
yeah.
But
Talking
So-
about losing, Amanda Seyfried lost in this movie.
I hate. Yeah, this movie was.
Hey, that was a brilliant segue. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, I.
wait, did we even say welcome to Apartment Theater?
I did.
Yeah.
That was the
Alright.
first thing I said.
Glossed over it. We're here now.
Okay,
Fuck the small
so.
talk.
Yeah.
Cass,
So
do you want to talk about what you remember from the movie, and then I'll put in the points that you forget?
can we remember what this movie is called?
Okay, maybe we
movie?
should specify why we're forgetting and the episode's late.
So, we're usually a week ahead, but Cass came and visited, and we decided, like, oh, we'll just change it to a different day. And then Danny decided to get a fucking rash that she needed to go to the fucking doctors for. So that kind
I
of.
was dying.
So Danny was dying. And it was funny because Cass and I were like, watch, Danny's going to have some really bad luck. It's just going to happen. And like clockwork, it happened. Because if there's anything that we can rely on, it is Danny and her horrible luck. Because in a past life, she pissed off some deity, and now she is cursed, and her entire
You guys wanna know
generation
something
is cursed.
That somebody told me, and if it's like true,
Quit itching!
it's
You're
I
just
can't help it.
you're just making it worse.
Is that your past life chose the challenges of this life to deal with. And my past life, if this is true, go fuck yourself.
Fuck you, I didn't want this shit. I
In
didn't
what
choose that.
universe is this? Why?
I've never heard that. I've heard other stuff. Anyway,
Yeah, we're
speaking of
segueing.
past lives, there's ghosts in this movie.
Yeah, there is. This, by the way, because we haven't said what the movie's called yet. The
No, I
movie
think we have.
The movie's called Things Heard and Seen. It's on Netflix. It is a Netflix original, exclusive. It's got Amanda Seyfried in it. She was in Mean Girls. That's like the only noteworthy thing she's been in. So
She was in Jennifer's Body too.
yeah, that movie sucked.
Oh, I like that movie.
And that's fine. You are free to like whatever you
I
want.
know.
Because there's a lot of movies that I suggested to you and you didn't like.
Yeah, that I don't like. That's true.
Poor Lady Bird.
Poor Lady Bird. Anyway, so Amanda Seyfried, I don't remember what her character's name is. Or her husband's name. But the two of them buy a house. Out in like farmland, rural area. And he is a teacher.
Yeah,
and
professor.
He's a professor, college professor. And she is an artist. And basically the first hour of this movie is setting us up to reveal in the second half of the movie that this dude is a flaming fucking narcissist and a liar and his entire life is a lie that he has been telling Amanda's character, and him getting caught in it, with the help of some ghosts. So that's cool.
Danny, what the fuck are you doing? I'm sorry, but Danny just starts looking up and just busts out the paper towels, and I'm sure that picked up too, so I apologize.
There was a bug.
It's a theme for this.
It's yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, so a bunch of his lies get exposed throughout the second half of the movie, and mostly due to the fact that Amanda's character is connected. Catherine, thanks. Very connected to a ghost that is in the house that they moved into, and there turns into kind of this like lineage of sorts of couples moving into this house and the dude being a piece of shit and killing the wife, basically.
That smells really bad now. It was a stink bug and I killed it. Mistakes were made.
Just blame it on the dog, I guess.
Danny's just stinky.
But yeah, that's the gist of this story. The ghosts don't really come up a whole lot, at least to me. They're not like the important part of the movie.
They try to make it seem like it is at points.
Yeah, they try to, but I think the reason they do that is because something that narcissists do is they make the other person seem like they're crazy, which is something that he was doing in the first half of the movie, because every time they would like talk to a new person, he's like, don't bring up ghost, that'll like freak my wife out. And like she never says anything about, like, at least to him, like how she thinks the house is haunted, how she doesn't think that they're alone, like this house makes a lot of noise at night, like none of the typical like I suspect there's ghosts in our house. Like she never says any of that to him. It's all him that always says it.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's weird. Which says to me that like he knew, because at some point we hear that the malevolent entity in the house, which are all the male spirits, are talking to him and like swaying him to basically take out his wife. And I think that's yes, Danny.
Yes, Danny?
Yeah? Do you have a question, Danny?
Can I go to the bathroom?
This movie really... Yeah, can I leave? I'm done. So I just all right, here we go. Catherine and George. George is a piece of shit.
George is his name.
Yes, George is a fucking piece of shit. Hate the guy. So he gets this big professor's job, acting like he's some kind of great guy. He forces to relocate family up in this random place. The wife is spiritual. She is they never specified Wiccan, but she is spiritual. They go to this town. The town is very spiritual
and horny.
It's very occultish. Yeah, it's horny too.
So that's how that ended up. He just pisses me off how much a shitty person he is. The daughter gets scared constantly and wants to come sleep with the parents. The daughter's like 5 or 4. She's young, so that's normal.
She's little.
And he gets pissed about it. He gets so mad about it. And he's like, why can't we just drug her so she sleeps?
Yeah.
It's like,
that's a kind of wild part of the movie, that he's constantly trying to give his daughter like sleep aids, like prescription sleep aids. So like, and it's not like he's stealing them or anything, like he's actually getting them from the pharmacy, which like leads me to believe that that was something that was happening before they were in the house, because it seemed like they were only in that house like a night or two, and then
before things started going nuts.
Yeah, and he's like, we need to just give her whatever.
You just relocated a child into a new house, into a new state. Of course, they're going to be scared. One thing I give this movie, though, is that it went right off the bat with the ghost stuff when they moved into the house. They didn't build up with the ghost stuff. Like, day one, fucking ghost shit. I do like the scene where Catherine goes downstairs to figure out what the smell was, and as she's walking by the basement, like the girl standing in the like that quick scene, I thought that was great. I absolutely hated what happened. George cheats on Catherine with
They both cheat
Willis.
on each other.
Yes, they do. Catherine's just a little later. They obviously don't want to be in this marriage. Willis is very attractive, so George pretty much like pushes himself onto Willis, but she's very accepting of it, but pushes himself onto her.
I think she was pretty seductive, you know.
She was hot. She was hot.
She was, yeah. Played by the chick who plays Nancy Wheeler in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Does she? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then Eddie and his brother, where their parents used to live in that house, and they died because the father, I forget what it's called. He gave everybody drugs, so they fell asleep. He went and capped all of their cows, and then went into the house, laid down next to his wife as carbon monoxide. It was carbon.
Carbon monoxide?
Yeah. And killed them in their sleep. One thing I don't understand, though, is how Eddie and his brother are alive, because he did say they were in the house.
So the garage that he started the car in was right underneath the parents' bedroom. I'm assuming that, like, the kids' bedrooms were further off. So, like, they probably weren't as likely to get as much of the fumes
Fucked
or
up.
whatever. Yeah. Because, like, if he had his bedroom door shut and, like, it's an old house and there's not a ventilation system or something in it, it would kind of stay where it's at.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like,
that was just like one thing.
I don't know. It's an old farmhouse.
I was trying to figure out.
That's my explanation.
The guy that plays Eddie's hot. I don't care what anybody else says. I find him attractive. He's works
farmhand.
Yeah, him and his brother come up to like work on the house. In reality, they used to live in that house, but they don't tell Catherine. But George knows, and he doesn't want to freak out Catherine for some reason, so he doesn't tell her, which leads to an argument later on.
Yeah,
also,
she finds out from a neighbor.
She pulls out this weird shit from the fucking sink that looked like a fetus.
Yeah.
You guys are...
Yeah.
Looked like
I thought that was going to play into something. I thought she was going to find out she was pregnant or something. Yeah. But that had absolutely nothing.
She also finds a ring. And that belonged to like the people that used to live there, and they were like, "How'd you get this ring?" They buried her with it or whatever. Yeah. I just found it. Oh, okay.
I was so upset George killed Catherine, though. Like, I was hoping so much that he'd get fucked over. I mean, he gets fucked over in the end, but it's not satisfying.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
The ending felt like it was the ending felt like it was from a different movie. It's like,
yeah, well, it was supposed to be it was supposed to be poetic, because when they were at the museum, they were talking about the seaman that was on the ship that was on fire going out to the ocean, and he explains what that picture is supposed to represent, and so he was supposed to be that picture. That's what he turned into. So it was supposed to be poetic. If you weren't paying attention, that's probably why you didn't pick up on it.
No, I picked up on it. It just felt weird. It was just like, oh, okay.
George is a piece of shit. George is a narcissist, but he's also... I guess I don't know if it's exactly a narcissist thing or if it's like another trait, but his gay cousin... So they treat George as if he was an artist, and then he became a writer or whatever, and George was all this other stuff. You later find out his gay cousin that quote-unquote killed himself, or had an accident on their ship, was the one that actually did all the watercolors and all this stuff, and he took over his life. later on, it's kind of like you figure out that George killed his cousin to pretty much gain his life and get to where he was. And then George forged a letter to become a professor. And the head principal dude's just like, yo, I found that out. It's pretty fucked up, man. You're going to get fired. And so
And
George
then he
killed
drowns him in a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kills the guy on the boat. Yeah.
I am so happy Justine lives. And she leaves him a cryptic message, just like, I remember.
Yeah, because he ends up going on like a little bit of a killing spree of people finding out his lies or who have caught him in lies. So he kills the dean, I think?
Yeah, it was the dean.
Yeah, the dean who, like, you know, catches him in a lie about, you know, getting the job at the college, and then, what's her name? Frances? She's putting stuff together. She's been putting stuff together the entire movie when she is introduced, because, like, our first introduction to her is, she's another teacher, I think.
Yes.
And she comes up to him and she's like, I'm always suspicious of teachers who are worshipped by their students. And, like,
which is fair.
We get that, like, rhetoric a lot, and I'm like, this is some shit she has seen before. Like, she knows that something's up with him, like, personality wise, because it is not normal for the major student body to be obsessed with their professor.
And he was obsessed with the student bodies.
Yeah, a little bit.
Actually,
well, Willis wasn't a student there.
Yeah, I don't know that Willis was actually a student.
She was a student in a different place, but she was on a break. But yeah, Justine started picking stuff together. Catherine didn't have any friends, so she was very excited when Justine invited George and his wife over. So then Catherine's just like, friend! And Justine told her about a woman's group that they should go to, and it's a good time. Because Catherine kind of, like, started a little bit, that's when you find out she's not really happy in the marriage. They kind of got forced together. And on their way home from that dinner with Justine and her husband, he was high and he started freaking her out by, like, speeding down the road and stuff, and stopped, and she gets out of the car because she doesn't want to be in the car with them. Bullshit happens. She falls on the ground. He's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. She gets bruises on her face and a cut on her face. And Justine, like, when she dropped Catherine off that night, quite obviously you knew there was cuts and bruises on her face. Justine just gave him the death stare, like, I fucking know. I'm coming for you, man.
Yeah.
I like Justine. I think she was an awesome character, very powerful woman.
I think so. Yeah.
So I was pretty into that.
I'm glad you remember most of this movie, because I was like, I was just like trying to figure out, like, what happened in this movie again? Something happened. I can't remember. And yeah, with the Justine thing, yeah, she gets ran off the road. She wakes up later and he thinks, like, oh, I've gotten away with it, but really he didn't. Yeah. And that's when he gets on the boat and drifts off into the painting.
Well, Justine wakes up because she sees Catherine and Sarah. Sarah was Eddie's mother that died. And she saw them in the house, and she kind of wakes up, and then that's when everything starts to happen. But I was so mad about the Catherine thing. So he drugs Catherine with the daughter's drugs in her protein drink.
Because she has bulimia.
Is it bulimia? I always get bulimia and anorexia, yeah.
She'll eat, but she'll purge it, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
She's bulimic, so she's got a protein thing, so he gets her to drink that, and then she realizes that she's all drugged up. He does this when he notices she was leaving that night, and
ready to run.
Yeah, she falls onto the bed finally when she gets the phone to call 911, and the father walks up, and you he's kind of fighting with himself because he doesn't want to kill her. He's a narcissist. He's a fucking asshole. He's a piece of shit. But he still cared very much for Catherine, and he wanted Catherine. But he had these ghosts in his ears that are like, do it, do it, do it. So then he just starts bashing her into her chest with the axe. Which really, I was just like, no. When I was like watching it with John, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was so mad about that.
Yeah.
And I really wanted him to be figured out and like rot, but I wasn't very satisfied with him dying. And also Eddie's a very talented pianist. So
I'm sorry, he's a what?
You know I'm saying it right. Don't make me say it again.
Say it again.
You said it right. It was fine.
I said
Pianist?
it right, Justin. Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said. Never mind. It's. If you heard Danny say talented pianist, like, comment, and subscribe.
So George starts getting jealous of Eddie, and I think that's where like stuff comes up, which is funny because he's cheating on her already at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like just that's another psychological bullshit of a fucking shit person. Is he's allowed to go do stuff, but you're not.
Those double standards.
And she was not even doing anything. She was just having a glass of wine and watching him play the piano. Mm-hmm. Like there was nothing like I could like maybe see, but there was nothing romantic. Like she's just like, come join us. Like she wanted like to include her husband and stuff. Which kind of annoyed me. Also, it annoyed me that Willis let Eddie go into the police station to be like, the husband did it, while she sat in the car, and for some reason she didn't go in there, be like, I was sleeping with him. Like, I get it's embarrassing, but like, he just murdered her. You can solve a murder.
Yeah.
Cops don't do anything.
Cops don't do anything.
We've been over this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The worst part is like the cops knew it was him. They just needed evidence, which it is true. They need evidence to arrest him. And the police were like, yeah, he did it, but we need proof. If Willis came in, he was sleeping with me. There's something that could arrest him. But that's aside.
Probable
that's
cause.
aside.
Yeah.
But it's just, I was so mad she died. So mad.
I wasn't surprised.
This wasn't really a ghost movie, though. I thought it was
wasn't
like,
scary either.
It was kind of. I don't think it's listed as a scary movie. I think it's supposed to be suspense.
I think it's like suspense and drama or thriller or something like that.
I thought it was in the horror section.
It is, but
it is.
Thrillers come up in the horror section too. Yeah, horror thriller. So I thought how this thing was like broadcasted, I guess, or like what's the word? Advertised. That's the word I'm looking for. Advertised. It came off like a ghost movie. I thought we were gonna watch a ghost movie when we really just watched there's supernatural in it, but it was mostly just an abusive husband, like narcissist, like kind of like drama gone wrong. If Catherine didn't die and she left him and went with Eddie because they were very sweet together, I would have liked this movie a lot more.
Why did everybody in this movie want to sleep with a teenager?
I don't know.
No, okay. For one,
yes.
Catherine and George are 27.
Great, and the other people are teenagers.
No.
Yes.
Eddie was like 22. I don't know how old Willis was.
I don't think he was. I think he was younger.
He was. I think he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
Like early 20s. That's what I was
20.
Like, understanding. I was also understanding that Willis was older too.
Yeah.
She's at least like in college.
She says she was in college and she was taking
It's
like
weird
a year
because
off.
like the leads, maybe I'm wrong here, but like I'm pretty sure Amanda in real life is pushing almost 40 at this point.
She probably is, yeah.
She
Like,
doesn't look it though.
No, she doesn't. She looks very young.
Because you know, like, she was probably like in her 20s when Mean Girls was going on. That was 2004.
She's
So-
36.
36. Yeah. So why is everyone trying to sleep with people like half their fucking age in this movie?
I don't know.
Oh, they're 27. Yeah. Okay. Bullshit.
Definitely the man was like in his 40s.
Also, she's
Like-
really short. Just to throw that out there, she's 5'2".
Amanda.
That's pretty
Aw,
average.
she's little.
That's not average.
She's little.
Average height for women, I'm pretty sure, is like 5'2".
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel like a giant.
You
Yeah,
are. You're a
me
big
and you are
hulking
tall,
giant.
Kenny. We're tall.
Yeah, and I'm average. I'm 5'9".
And Eddie's 24. Just so we're all aware, he is 24.
Oh,
In the movie?
No, in real life.
Yeah,
The
well,
movie-
I need movie age.
Movie.
Fine, give me a second.
How old is Eddie supposed to be? This movie is based off of a book.
I would not read it.
That other stuff happens in. Like you get more on what happens to Willis after, you know, things get done. Yeah. Just so you know, if you feel like reading it and prefer a book over movie. I don't know if there's more spooky stuff in it. Honestly, the scariest part to me is the very real situation of being murdered by your husband.
Yeah, I can't
Is
find
a
it.
fucking narcissist who got caught in his copious amounts of lies.
They
Because
definitely,
I've definitely never dated a narcissist who has anger problems.
I definitely didn't get any triggers from like the road scene or anything.
Yeah. No.
No. Nothing was triggering about this relationship for me, you know.
Justin can't relate.
I didn't have that kind of relationship with this movie because I mean, I have dated narcissists and pieces of shit people before.
Yeah.
Sure. But I've never had anything get to that extent, and I don't think I've ever been that guy. I hope not. I would hope that someone would have pointed that out to me if I had ever been that guy. And if I had ever been that guy, I apologize, but to my knowledge, I'm fine. But the whole time, this whole movie just felt like men are bad. That was it. That was the message of the movie that just kept getting pummeled into my face for the 2 hours. And
I see what you're saying.
I get it. I do. Because that dude was a piece of shit. But like that's mainly what I was getting from this movie was just like, you know, men, they're all bad. Like,
But,
okay.
so
Not wrong.
men, yeah. Sorry. You say that, but there are men in this movie that are decent people and shown as decent people.
Yeah, and
So,
like the dean, he was very sweet.
Justine's
caring.
husband is sweet. Eddie was very caring. Like,
I feel like
he agreed. Like, he obviously had something for Catherine, and they cheated. At this point, George and Willis was already cheating. There's no excuse.
cheating is still cheating, though. So
Yes,
they're neither one are in the right on this. Like, I'm not saying what he was doing. Like, both of them were bad at that. They were the main thing. Key to relationships is communication. And these two were not communicating with each other at all. And that is...
Because they both very much did not want to be in that relationship, but would not tell the other person.
It's really hard to communicate something or with someone when the only communication they know is to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're right. I really don't like the thing in the sink. Like, it was a gross scene, but what the fuck does that thing happen to do with anything?
Nothing.
No other wife.
No
other wife was pregnant.
Going into that, like, trope of sticking your hand down the sink and, like, that sort of weird fear that happens, because you're like, what am I gonna touch you? Like, it's gross.
Yeah,
And like pulling like balls of hair out of the sink is gross. Like that's always a weird scene in a lot of ghost horror movies, is just like shit coming out of the sink. So I feel like
but they
at this
usually
point,
have like some
it's
kind.
obligated.
Usually,
Danny, are
they
you messing?
usually have
Real
some
quick,
kind of like
real
connection.
quick,
Yeah,
Danny,
Dan's-
are you messing with something? Please stop. Because it is squeaking and it is
I'm
picking
sorry.
up on the mic, and I'm like,
Okay,
what
I'm
the
done.
fuck is that sound? I'm sure that other people, I'm getting loud. I apologize, but I'm the only person in the house. But
So
I was hearing that and it was driving me insane.
I should have said no. So, but in other horror movies, when something gross like that comes up, play some kind of little bit, like not
it's
not
relevant
all,
somehow.
but it's relevant. So I was thinking maybe maybe they had an abortion or a miscarriage, or she's pregnant and she's gonna have a miscarriage, or she's pregnant and he gets pissed because he's sleeping with Willis. Like, I thought that's what was gonna happen, and then that was just like nothing. Not even like the past people that died in the house. None of them were pregnant. So like it's just like, I understand this want for a gross thing, but it didn't need to be like a fetus.
It was.
Because I don't care what anybody says. That was a fetus.
Because it was trying to be scary, but the movie was never scary at all.
no,
Like it's like being afraid of your own shadow. Like it's just.
Oh, I do that.
It was not scary at all whatsoever.
Maybe it was scary. We've just watched so many horror movies, we're numb to it.
No.
No.
Every single review that I saw for it was like, this is not scary at all.
I love the scene though when they're doing the seance. I love that scene. That was a really nice scene.
Yeah, there's definitely
with
some
the haunted tablecloth.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Cool.
I'm not surprised that you guys liked that scene.
I think this movie has great scenes in it. I think this movie has a great concept. I just don't think it was executed well, but it wasn't executed horribly.
Yeah.
I don't think it was absolutely hard compared to other things that we watch, but I don't, and obviously I don't think it was great.
Yeah.
But it was okay, tolerable. Kept me interested.
I think if it would have lost the ghost stuff and just kept it on the relationship and build more on that, it wouldn't have been a horror movie. It just would have been thriller, suspense, or whatever, which, I mean, people would argue, like, well, that can still be in the same realm. And
well, yeah.
Sure.
Well, if he's murdering people, then that's where it could be like a massacre, which would classify as a horror.
Right. So, but, yeah, so, like, that's what I was thinking was, like, this could be, like a double Jeopardy kind of movie or something, like there's a mystery to be solved here, but like I felt like the ghost stuff didn't really add anything to the movie. I felt like, honestly, a lot of the times I was forgetting that ghosts were even a thing in the movie, and then ghosts would happen and be like, oh, the ghosts.
There wasn't a lot of ghost scenes either.
There really wasn't.
And they looked terrible.
I like the chair thing before they had Sarah sit in the chair, but the chair thing was okay. It wasn't creepy for me because we watched so many horror movies to the point of where we're like, we know this is going on. But it was a nice, like, creepy scene. And when the little girl is hiding under the covers and can still see it, like, that's a good scene. But it just, I don't know. I like when the ghosts, when Catherine goes to purge her tummy after eating, and she says she's just sick.
The ghost slams the door
and locks it.
Yeah.
Locks it. Oh yeah, when she's
like,
get the fuck away from me and just slams and locks it. I'm like, heck yeah, go ghost.
Yeah.
So
and throwing up our marriage.
All men are bad.
Accurate.
All men are not bad. It's just,
but that's the thing, though. Like, I can't.
There's a lot of shitty guys, and they give good guys bad reps.
But here's the thing, though. Like, as a guy, I can't say that. I can't, because like when a girl says all guys are bad, I can't go in and then say not all guys, because then that just makes me somehow look like a giant piece of shit. and
Yeah.
invalidating what they're saying. It's like, well, if I said the same thing, if I said all women are fucking evil, then women would be like, no, hold on. And then, but didn't be like, well, isn't this the same fucking thing?
We are evil, though.
Because I was thinking about, I was thinking about the movie Men. I haven't seen it yet. I want to.
Yeah, I want to watch
But
it.
I was thinking, like, I'm thinking at some point we could just watch it for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we can actually just watch it on, like, Google Play or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, like, what would women look like? You know, like, oh, if someone made instead of a men movie, it's a women movie. Like, what would that movie look like? And
I don't think I've seen anything for men.
It wouldn't look like anything because men haven't been oppressed by women.
no. I know that.
What?
I know that. It's not. It wasn't meant as like an oppressing thing. That's not what I meant. I was meaning more like the general concept of it. What would be the terrifying women
about
movie?
women?
Yes. And without it being like sexist or whatever, like, you know, like, oh, the women on their period scares men. Like, yeah, whatever. I mean, that would probably be in it, but like, that's not scary. That's just like, okay. I mean, I don't find that scary. It's just, okay, that's just the body. I don't care. But I don't know. I was thinking about that concept when I was looking at men, and I was like, what would women look like? Because I'm curious now. And then yeah, because it wasn't meant as like like men haven't been oppressed. Like, I realize that.
Well, I think if men probably do well, they'll probably do the sequel and do woman.
I don't
Watch.
think so.
I will bet money on it. I really
I
would.
don't think so.
But yeah, I haven't seen this. This looks interesting.
I
I'm
imagine,
totally down to see
you know, it would probably be like a witch movie, honestly. It'd probably be men are afraid of powerful women and witches, and it could be like All in His Head though or something. Like, I don't know, but like it's like, but yeah,
because that's kind of the thing. That's why so many men don't want women in power, is because they think women are going to treat them the way they think women, or the way they treat women, which is really repressive and really shitty. But like, it would literally just be like people being treated with equality and like fairness. And so that would actually be kind of funny to make a movie where it's all in the dude's head that like women are taking over the world and everything is horrible. And it's really just women existing.
yeah, like nothing actually is happening. It's just
Nothing's actually happening.
it's just all in his head. I would. All right, this is sounding pretty good. Netflix, I know you need subscribers. Give us a shot. We will try our best.
We can do this. We can do this.
We've got this.
Somebody else has to write the story, but
I do writing.
I think if we collaborated on something, I think we could potentially write something.
We could make a bad horror movie.
Yeah, I think so. I just met a kid that makes movies, and he gave me a note with his phone number and said if he ever needs to talk about movies, or like we want to make a movie, to like hit him up.
I'm just imagining
how perfect is this?
I'm imagining this was actually like a small child. It was like 8 or 9, but he was wearing a suit and he had his hair slicked back and he was hitting on Danny the whole time. And Danny's like, "Oh, look at this guy," and the kid's just like,
yeah.
How stupid do you think I am?
No, I don't think you're stupid. I'm just imagining that was the scenario. Like this, like
that's a scenario.
No, he had these like rose tinted glasses.
We
Red
all
flag.
have them.
Stay out of that one.
So I guess to end this, what is the verdict on Things Heard and Seen? Is that what it was called?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep changing the name every time I talk about it.
Seen, Heard, and Things. Would you recommend things that would be seen and heard?
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Like,
I think it's worth a watch.
solid like 3 stars.
You will forget that you watched this movie. That is
Yes, I will.
That
I
is
will
my
absolutely
verdict on
forget
this.
We pretty much wrote off this episode of what does Danny remember?
Yeah.
There was aspects of it that are good. Just don't go into it expecting
A lot.
ghost movie. Like, I think it suffers from the same thing that happened with The Village. Like, I like The Village. It was promoted badly. It was promoted as a horror movie, and it is not a horror movie.
That movie would have been fine if okay, we're technically all spoilers anyways. That movie would have been absolutely fine if they didn't release that the elders were these creatures. Like, I like the whole thing of that movie, and I would have liked for the creatures to actually be fucking real things, and her still go on this mission to find the, like, whatever she needs.
Doesn't she get hit by a car at the end?
No. She finds a car.
She ends up on a street,
Yeah, and they bring her to what she wants, and then she goes back. But, like, I like the idea of her being blind, trying to go back, and there's monsters. Like, obviously the elders aren't gonna fuck with her. So,
like, that's the thing. To her, there are still monsters there, right? No, because she actually finds one of the suits.
Yeah, she figures it out.
Because, like, once she becomes an elder, she's gonna end up wearing it or whatever. That's actually why I like the movie, is because it is the elders and the monster is fake, and that it's literally the elders being so fucked up that they wanted to go create this private community that they created monsters to keep people in. They created
the monsters
an
look
invisible
great.
fence, basically.
It's almost like it's social commentary about how our the people that are leading us are actually betraying us. Anyway, I watched half of The Village and turned it off.
That's fair. The monsters look great. I absolutely loved them. I thought it was great. Fun fact, in 7th grade, I don't know, 8th grade, I forget, in my computer class, my teacher was in that movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was M. Night Shyamalan. That's the twist.
Nice.
Super twist. My teacher was actually Green Goblin.
Cool.
Nice.
He's a dean of a university, right?
A what?
University.
Oh, the guy. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Tune in next time where we forget the next movie. Yay!
Maybe this time one of you will remember the movie.
Get out. Bye. Fuck off. Get out. Get the fuck out.
Out of it.
Bye.